Hari Om, Namaste. Just quick announcement. We have day of tomorrow, 23rd, Puja Swamiji's 10th Aradhana at 10:30 p.m., 10:30 a.m. here in temple. And then on October 1 to October 5, we have 5-day Vedanta course taught by Swami Advaitmananda, the topic Hastamalakyam. So please make a note of it. Thank you.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Shruti Smruti Purana Malayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpada Shankaram Loka Shankaram Narayanam Namaskritya Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Ashvatha Sarva Vrikshanam Devarshīnāṃ ca Nāradaha Gandharvānāṃ Chitraratha Siddhānāṃ Kapilo Munihi. So we are looking at a few vibhutis. Means when you look around, there is God everywhere, in everything, all the time. God alone is. And everything else is a superimposition. That is the final situation. But when you look around, you should be able to feel the God. That is important. That is called God consciousness. Ishvara drishtihi. You should feel the God. Suppose you look at the sun, you should feel the God in the sun. Sun, the effulgence of the sun is God. That is how you have to feel. And so these points, like sun, like moon, etc., which bring the God into our consciousness, or which remind us of the God, they are called vibhuti. You need vibhuti to begin with, because we are filled with world consciousness, and our whole consciousness is filled with worldliness. So there is a word for it. We are worldlings. That is what we are. That is the word, worldling. We are not God conscious. We have to make elaborate effort to become God conscious. Like, for example, you have to take a flight and go somewhere, and then there is a temple or whatever, and then stand in the queue, push the people ahead of you, get pushed by the people behind you, pay some bribe to somebody, gain the spot, and then look at God, and then now I am God conscious for 30 seconds. You see how difficult the God consciousness has become. So that is how we have become. This is the fate in a way. It should be much easier to become God conscious, particularly because God is everywhere, in everything, all the time. Therefore, what is the difficulty in becoming God consciousness? Meaning, your understanding is missing. That is the difficulty. Therefore, you select some spots where there is the glory of the God in a very striking fashion. And if you are open, then that makes you God conscious right away. Did it ever happen to you like that? When you look at the sun, did you become God conscious? Then you know something. Suppose you look at the sun and feel, oh, nuisance, it is very hot, and something like that you feel. That means even the sun cannot make you God conscious. Something is wrong in that attitude. Sun should make you God conscious. Moon, did you ever look at moon? There are people in this world who look at the moon on a piece of paper. Oh, here is moon. Here on piece of paper you have moon. There is moon up. Look at the moon. What this piece of paper moon? So, if did you ever look at the moon and become conscious of God? In literature, like Kalidasa, Shakespeare, like these great poets have created marvelous literature. In the literature, the man looks at the moon and becomes conscious of his beloved. Okay? In Kalidasa's poem, Megha Dutam. So it is a monsoon time, and then Ashadha, Ashadhasya Prathama Divase, the first day of Ashadha, the monsoon time is arriving. Already a big mass of clouds has arrived, and it is hugging the mountain peak. And this young man called Yakshaha, his name we don't know. He was in the south somewhere, near Chitraratha mountain. That is where he is, very down south. And his beloved is in Amaravati, which is in Tibet. Tibet means Mount Kailas is there. All our friends go there nowadays. And after Mount Kailas, there is a town called Amaravati. In the town there is a palace, and in that palace his beloved is sitting. And he is down south here, and a Chitraratha mountain, and he sees a mass of clouds hugging the mountain. And he addresses the cloud. Cloud, sir cloud, oh cloud, you will be traveling across the sky like a flight, like a jet flight. And so you can cover, nothing can stop. Suppose a mountain comes, you have to cross the mountain, very difficult, you need a pass. Or if a river comes, you have to cross it. But for the cloud, nothing matters, it just crosses. I'm sure you will be going towards the Himalayas. He believes that the crowd said yes, let us say. Yeah, it seems to be saying yes. Then you must be crossing Himalayas and reach Kailas also. Yeah, it looks like that. Then afterwards, please for my sake, go a little further up. And there is a town called Amaravati. You will not miss it from above. In that town, there is a particular locality where big buildings, they are the downtown Amaravati. You cannot miss it. Yeah, we can. How can we miss a downtown from above? And then there is a particular building. There one young woman will be there. You will not miss it. Pay attention. You will see her. Please give a message from me. This is the poem. Very simple. That is the story, nothing more. And also that is called Meghadutam of Kalidasa. World famous. Translated into every language of the world. Major language in China, Chinese, Spanish, everywhere it is translated. There, the Yaksha, that is his name, and so he becomes conscious of his beloved when he looks at a mass of clouds. That is the love. That is called love. Okay? So, do you have any such love for God? Then you should be able to be conscious of the glory of God when you look at the sun, which is a vibhuti. That is the text, that is the name of the chapter. Sun is a vibhuti. Moon is a vibhuti. So the point of great effulgence which conveys the glory of God to an open-minded person. Your mind should be open. Then only you become God conscious. To the one who is very worldly, it is generally said, people who make accounts of money and ledgers, money, profit, loss, etc., they will not be able to enjoy God presence or any such thing. Your head is filled with accounts, then you cannot know God. Leave alone God. If suppose Yaksha's mind is filled with accounts, will he remember his beloved when he sees the cloud? No. Therefore, you should not be an accountant in life. Okay? An accountant, an attorney or lawyer. In profession you can be, but not in life. And you should be you should have a loving heart. And love is the same, whether one loves his beloved or one loves God, love is same. That's why many a time God is addressed as the beloved. Many a time, really. Anyway, therefore when you see the sun, moon, they make you think of God. Assuming that you are open to such a vision. So now in such a context, the sun is called Pratika of God. The Sanskrit word, symbol. Vibhutis are symbols of God. The moon is a symbol of God. Similarly, Naradaha we have seen, the one who imparts knowledge to you, understanding, he is God. Like, so I remember I was in the village and then I went to university. They used to say, I was the first guy from that remote village to go to the university. It was said like that. I'm not sure how far it was true, but then when I went to the village afterwards, the primary school teacher was there. Soranna was his name. And I did namaskar to him. He said, why do you do namaskar to me? My qualification is not even BA, whereas you are a PhD, your university. I have never seen the portals of the university. Why do you do namaskar to me? I used to say, no, you have taught me A, B, C, D. Or A, E, Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. You have taught those things to me. You are the God. So, therefore, who has taught you some basics of life, under some understanding? Do you see the glory of God in that person, or do you go by Nama Rupa? If you go by Nama Rupa, you miss the Godhead. But you go beyond the Nama Rupa, then you have seen the glory of God in that human being. That human being becomes a pratika. A peepal tree, which we have described earlier, is the pratika. Then even tulasi can be a pratika, because tulasi is an osimum, that is its botanical name. Osimum is the class to which it belongs. It has many antibacterial properties, and it has an essential oil which protects you from bacteria, and it has many other benefits. Even its smell helps in opening up the nose blocks and all that. So like that, some very good properties are there, herbs are there. Many such good herbs are there, but tulasi is somehow become popular, and so as a herb, it has a glory which many other plants and trees do not have, and hence tulasi, the herb, the plant, becomes a pratika of God. Pratika, vibhuti. I am discussing the topic in general terms. Instead of giving the list you can get from the book yourself. So then, back in India, Ganga, the river, is pratika of God. You know why? Because the river created a delta. It enters the plains in Haridwar. Up to then, it is in the mountains. It is in the form of creeks and cascades of water. We call it Ganga, but it is not so much Ganga. It is Bhagirathi, it is Alakananda, like that, in the mountains. And then it enters the plains at Haridwar. Once it enters the plains, it creates a delta from Haridwar till the Ganges, till Bay of Bengal near Calcutta, where it merges in the ocean. It traverses more than 1,000 miles of land mass and creates tremendous delta and is directly responsible for producing millions of tons of wheat and other crops. And of course electricity also is there. And people taking bath, etc., that is also there. But the Ganga, it feeds 500 million people in India every year. That much its impact on agriculture. Indian society is an agrarian society, and so the contribution of Ganga for the agriculture in India, you cannot imagine. It is mind-boggling. So much wealth in the form of food is produced directly because of the Ganga. It gives the irrigation water, and also it makes the soil very fertile because of the delta process. And that's why it is indeed said Ganga is the mother, universal mother, another name of God. Therefore, you look at Ganga, you become conscious of God. Here, you should have a similar attitude. To become conscious of God, you have to take a flight and go to Delhi, and from there go somewhere. Not necessary. The river Delaware is like that. River Delaware played an important role in the independence of this country. George Washington went on a boat on River Delaware to Philadelphia from somewhere here. There is water gap, Delaware water gap. That is where George Washington entered a boat and went up to Philadelphia. And then the river Tennessee, the river Mississippi, some of the greatest rivers of the world. And then river Nile in Egypt. It is Nila, but then became Nile. It starts somewhere in Ethiopia, and it flows through a few countries, including Egypt. And all those countries where the river Nile flows, they are fertile on either side of the river, very fertile. Egypt has food, enough food only because of the river Nile. So if river Nile is not God, then what is God? Therefore, the river Nile, Mississippi, Tennessee, Delaware here, and Ganga back in India, they are all pratika of God. You see, there is a Vedic, not so much Vedic, these are all Vedic pratikas. Means you can visualize God in them. That is the pratika. Then there is another pratika, which is a small one. It is coming, even Shankara mentioned it. That is a piece of stone in the river called salagrama. Very soft stone. The stone, when it is in the river, it flows and flows and flows. And the river water, the flow, they act like softening. You polishing. The river flow and water, they polish the stone. And that's why the stone is very special and very shining, very highly polished stone. And that stone is the glory of God. And therefore, they said, there is the glory of God in this piece of stone. And so they worship that. That is also a pratika. What is the idea there? What is the idea? Even when the smallest piece of stone, though polished well, a piece of stone, smallest, is accepted as divinity. If that is the case, you should understand that the entire universe, all the other things and the entire universe is nothing but divinity. That is the idea of worshipping God in a piece of stone. That is the idea. You see, you don't mind my saying these things. A lady complained to me about her husband. To me means not that to Swami, in a general discussion, complained about the husband. It's okay, one can have a complaint, nothing wrong in it. It can be the other side also. And then asked my opinion. What opinion I will be able to give. But something I have to say. I am not sure whether I can say it, but I took my chance and said. I asked her, do you worship God? Yeah, of course I do. Every day I worship in the morning. Well, how do you worship? We have this 3x6 is there, you know. This 3x6, very cunning, I tell you. 2,000 square feet home, 3x6 for God. Anyway, there is a 3x6, and inside that there is a small arrangement, highly decorated and all that, and there God is sitting. Okay, I worship the God. What is that God? It is a stone idol. A piece of stone, ultimately it's a piece of stone. Then I told her, you see God in a piece of stone every morning, whereas this guy is walking around. He has a life in him and intelligence. He represents intelligence as he stands. The intelligence by which the heart is beating, the blood is circulating, the food is digesting, the brain is functioning. Tremendous embodiment of intelligence from toes to head. And then life, the power of life. You can't see God in that guy. You can see God in a piece of stone. Can't you see God in him? Then she complained, but he has to see God in me also. No, he cannot. He will not be able to do that. You do it. Let him manage with these stone idols. He will not be able to do it. His consciousness is not geared up for that. Whereas you can gear up your consciousness to see God. Not just sitting God, sitting in some corner. A God who is moving around and occasionally doing some mischief also. So you see God. There is a name for it. Pativrata. That is the name. No, I agree with you. I am willing to become Pativrata, but why not he be a Patnivrata? He cannot. He is Buddhu, he cannot. It doesn't work like that. Whatever works, the Rishi tells you. If Patnivrata works, the Rishi must have told it. But the Rishi knew it doesn't work. Because his mind is not suited to see God in this lady. His mind, at best, he can see God in the moon. That itself is great for him. So let him manage with the Gayatri Mantra. You look at him as the embodiment of God. Whatever is feasible, that only should be recommended. Therefore, this is the idea of vibhuti. And so you see divinity in all. Having said this much, I have to say one more thing so that the topic is covered well. That is, suppose you worship an idol, because we have come to that, the salagrama, etc. Suppose you worship the idol with the limited idea that that idol alone is God. Then you are steeped in ignorance. Such a man, such a person cannot realize the omnipresence of God. You got the point? Therefore, your vision should not remain confined to the idol only. You should be able to see God in all. This, what I said now, this you don't hear in a temple. You don't hear in the world. Most of the gurus of the world, with a few exceptions, won't tell you this. This you hear only in a Gita class or a Vedanta class. Anyway, having said that, now we come to the next vibhuti, Gandharvanam Chitraratha. That is the vibhuti. Gandharvas are music people. The musicians are called Gandharvas, and the dancers are called Apsarasas. If you remember the old-fashioned shows which are presented in the street corner in the villages, in those shows a lady will be dancing and 3 or 4 people will be sitting and with all these cymbals and then some harmony, etc., and they will be singing. And she will be dancing. She won't sing. She will just move the lips only. And a man will be singing. So, Bhamane, Satya Bhamane, like that man sings. I am the Bhama, I am the Satya Bhama. That is what the man says. Whereas she dances. She doesn't sing. She will be just like that, she will be moving the lips. You have seen that? Therefore, both they have their respective departments. You do your job, I do my job. So, this man's job is to sing. And he is supported by 1 or 2 these percussion instruments, people, a tabla, a cymbal, and harmony. There are 3 or 4 people. They will be sitting on the dais itself. Okay? And whatever little space, they are sitting in one corner, leave the maximum of the dais to her, because she has to go around and dance. So this is the arrangement. In this arrangement, the singing man is called Gandharvaha, and the dancing lady is called Apsaraha. Apsaras is the Shabda, Sakaranta Strilingaha. So plural will be Apsarasaha, singular Apsaraha. So she is the Apsara, he is the Gandharva. We have them plenty. Go to Hollywood. More than Hollywood, come to India. Bollywood, Tollywood, Collywood. So many woods are there. You come there, there are plenty of singers, Gandharvas, and Apsarasas also. Plenty of them. They go together. You have Gandharva and no Apsarasa, it is incomplete. And there cannot be Apsarasa without Gandharva. She cannot sing her own song. Somebody has to sing. And so this is the game. And therefore, there are these music people all the time. They are called stars. Okay? So in a way, you look up, you see the stars. You look around in Hollywood or wherever, you see the stars. They are the stars moving on the earth. And we used to have a magazine in India. It is called Stardust. Interesting magazine. Stardust is a scientific term also, some astrophysics term. But somebody has picked up that name and gave it to a magazine. And in that magazine only stars, etc., only those news will be there. Anyway, so there is a glory of God in music, in the singing person. And therefore, whenever you see the singers, and if the song really uplifts your consciousness and makes you think of God, suppose, then you can look at him, you can see the glory of God in him. You see, when you read the compositions of some of these great saints like Tyagaraja, Mirabai, there are many of them. Jnanadeva, Tukaram, Narsi Mehta, everywhere in the country they are there. And if you look at their songs, even in the song you may not be able to sing, but even in the lyric you can see the glory of God. My God, the one who made that lyric, suppose he sings, how beautiful it would be. And therefore, these song composers who compose those songs and then sing, there is the glory of God in them. Need not be Indian only. We should not be like that. We should have a very broad vision. There is the glory of God in Beethoven, in Mozart, and also in Jackson, Michael Jackson. In his songs also there is the glory, there is an effulgence, there is a brilliance which is nothing short of godliness. You should be able to see that. He sings quite, and some of his lyrics are very enigmatic. What is he trying to say through that lyric? It is said that he writes his own lyrics and sings them. Maybe he takes somebody's help and likes the lyrics, but those lyrics, not all of them, some of the lyrics are silly and therefore you don't feel any, not the Michael Jackson lyrics, the lyrics that are, some of the lyrics which I have seen recently, they really make you feel God conscious. And that too when they sing them in a particular way, in a musical way, then that really makes you God conscious. Therefore, you can think of finding a pratika, a symbol in a guy who sings well and who sings beautiful songs. That is a vibhuti. And here Sri Krishna gives one name from his times. You can, present today you can say Gandharvanam Tyagarajaha, you can say now. But Sri Krishna's time he said, Mirabai. Of course, Mirabai is a female, Gandharva is the male. Here is the male thing it is. Dance is different. So, Tyagaraja, then there are other great saintly people. And then in the West also there are many great lyricists. Our friend Sahadev knows many wonderful lyrics, very pious lyrics. And you can enjoy the glory of God, God consciousness in those lyrics. Okay? And one of the lyricists who is mentioned here is not only a lyricist, he is a singer also. His name is Chitraratha. He must have been around during Sri Krishna's time. And so he is called Chitraratha, that is his name. Sometimes the name can be significant also. So Chitra, he is a vehicle, Ratha is the vehicle. These people are rich, these singers, they become rich. They have all the facilities that the society gives to them. And so he has a vehicle which has multiple colors. Chitra in Sanskrit, it can be translated as mosaic. Mosaic means nowadays all cars have single color, either red or blue, one color. There is multiple colors there. So there may be some cars like that. Some lines are red, some blue, some yellow, some this, some that. Such a mosaic color if you find on a car, so such a person who owns such a car can be called Chitraratha. Ratha is the car. Therefore, there was a guy like that. His name was Chitraratha. Maybe because he had such a chariot with multiple colors, and he was a great singer and lyricist, and so Sri Krishna recognizes the glory of God in him. Okay? You take it like that. So, you see, suppose a person sings very well and writes the lyric also very inspiring. So that inspiration, that glory of the music It comes from, not from the small self. The me and mine, it doesn't come from that. In fact, some of these singers, they convert that glory into the possession of the egotistic self. They do that mistake, that major error they do. And therefore, they proclaim themselves to be very great people. They are now celebrities and they make a lot of money. And they enjoy life, very worldly life they enjoy. And so they are into all kinds of sense pleasures. They drink and they are addicted to drinking. And so unless they drink, some of them, unless the guy drinks, he cannot come and give a concert. He sings all right, and then there is the violinist, you know. If the singer, if he misses something, the violinist fills it. Then there is tabla and all those accompaniments are there. They depend upon him. He gets the major payment, and out of that payment they get their share. This is a game, samsara it is. The whole thing is converted into samsara. There is no sanctity in it, there is no divinity in it. You should keep all these things away. They are out to make some money and they are out to proclaim their personal glory as a celebrity, and they are out to enjoy pleasures of the world. What do you get out of them? Nothing. Assuming that they sing well. Quite often they don't sing well also. Because the song which they are singing is in Sanskrit and he doesn't know Sanskrit. Or is it in Telugu and he doesn't know Telugu? What he will sing? And you go by that notes, music notes will be there. And some raga, ragam, tanam, pallavi, all those things are there. And these tabla, etc. instruments are there, some rhythmic. And you go for it. And one evening, it gives you some kind of a sensation, nothing more than that. It's a sensation. You convert it into some pleasure. And where is God in it? There is no God in it. One singer is there. They come to America. Like we Swamis come to America, they also come to America. And unless he sings in America, his celebrity status is not complete. Even that is there. And he sings a few songs, concert, 1.5 hours. 1 hour he sings. And then I will sing any song you like. You can name the song, I will sing. I mean within the songs of his knowledge. And the only condition is you can name the song and you have to pay $100. He declares. Name your song. Payment $100. Okay, somebody got up. And he asked for, in Chicago, he asked for Nagumomu. That is what he asked for. Nagumomu, Ganaleni, like that some Tyagaraja Kirtana is there. He asked for it. And somebody went and collected $100 from him, and this man sang the Nagumomu. Is that divine? Is there divinity in it? It is all the game of the world. And there is no glory of God in it. And people, I'm not telling about you, you must be knowing much better than that, hopefully. So people, they fall for all such gimmicks because they're ignorant, you know. There is no God in all that. So the life in the person is infinite. And the intelligence in the person is infinite. That is the God. And so through the person, that infinite, undivided, ever-present, ever-active life and intelligence, which is God, is expressing. And that expression has many forms, and one of those forms is a song. Then you can call it divine. Need not be Carnatic music only. It can be Hindustani. It could be a ghazal. It can be divine. Or it can be classical music of the Europe, or it can be the pop or rock music of the West. It can be any one of those things. And there is a glory of God in all that. Because the God is the power, the mysterious power. Mysterious means you cannot see and pinpoint. You see with eyes, you cannot pinpoint with the finger. It is there, the mysterious power. Suppose I ask you, all these bulbs are glowing, this electricity is flowing, the fans and cooling is happening, the mic is amplifying the sound. Is there not a power behind all this? What is that power? Electricity. What do you know about electricity? What is electricity? Even the great physicists and electrical engineers, etc., what they know about electricity is not much, I tell you. Even now, this electricity is a big enigma. We think that you put a wire, and in the wire electricity flows from here to there, and inside it is flowing. Like in a water pipe, water is flowing, like that electricity is flowing. I'm not sure about it. It is more complex than that. It is not like water flowing in a lead pipe. Electrons flow, suppose you say. Suppose electrons flowing from A to B, then the electricity is not from A to B. The electricity is from B to A. Now what will you do? You look at that. Therefore it is not even electrons flowing, because electrons flowing means the flow direction should decide the flow of electricity, but it is the opposite. Then the holes are flowing. When the electrons are flowing in this direction, the holes, H-O-L-E, hole, they are flowing in the opposite direction. Ye kya baat hai? What do you know about electricity? This quantum physics, etc. What is electricity? Are they particles or are they waves? Not yet settled. It is a big time physics. And that's why I say, even electricity is a mysterious power. Electricity. Now you tell me, is there not a mysterious power that guides and controls this universe? Don't you think so? And don't you think that mysterious power is in you also? That is what a music singer should understand. That mysterious power called God is here, and it gives the voice to the throat. It makes the voice musical, and it produces the lyric from the intelligence of the head. He should know that. And therefore he should know that it is the expression of God's mysterious power which is coming out in the form of music. He should know that. Even the gurus of the world, even when they teach Vedanta, let us say, they just take the title of I am a guru, teacher. Now, really speaking, suppose I am teaching something from Gita. Who is the guru? I am the guru, or Sri Krishna is the guru? Sri Krishna is the guru. Shankara explained the verse. Shankara is the guru. Both are in Sanskrit, and I seem to know some Sanskrit is sitting here. And I put it there, or the teacher put it there? And who put it there? Somebody has put it there. No, but somebody has put it, but I made my own effort. Did I make effort and put it, or it got put into it? So, therefore, there is no me in any of this. No me. If you take out that me, that egotistic entity, then you can see the mysterious power which is making the Swami speak, and which is making every one of you hear the same power. That means I can declare, I am singing, and I am hearing my own music. I can say that. When that I means the Atma. If I doesn't mean the Atma, if I means the egotistic self, then I am singing and you are all hearing. I am the Guru and you are the Shishya. That is the egotistic self. Naiva Gurur na Shishyaha. You dismiss the egotistic self and see the glory of God in the music and in the lyrics and also in your capacity to hear and your intelligence to appreciate the joy of the music and the joy in it. All of it is divine. Every aspect of it is divine. That is the meaning of Gandharvanam Chitraratha. Then there is one more thing. Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. Munihi, the Muni. Generally we people think Muni means the one who lives somewhere in the Himalayas, above Rishikesh or whatever, with a white long beard and all that. That is the Muni. Very unkempt hair, and then there must be, if there are the matted hair, even better. Because God has matted hair. You have seen God. God is your maternal uncle, and you have met him, and he has matted hair. All imagination. Mananan Munihi, the one who reflects, contemplates, one who studies, understands. He is the Muni. And you can be the Muni. Who stops you? Maybe you are the Muni already. That's why you are here. A lot of knowledge you must be having, and you must be reflecting upon it. You must be studying and examining it and exploring it and investigating it. All of that you must be doing. That's why you are able to hold a job. You are the Muni. Mananan Munihi. Okay? But in this context, the one who contemplates upon the glory of God is the Munihi. And then there was a Muni called Kapilaha. He is historic. Kapila was recognized even by Indologists of the Europe. There is a gentleman called Kapilaha in India. His book, he composed sutras, aphorisms, like Patanjali made Yoga Sutras, Badarayana made Brahma Sutras, Badarayana, not Vyasa. Everything Vyasa, no. Similarly, so Kapila made Sankhya Sutras. The word Sankhya has two meanings. One is knowledge. Second is counting. Counting is also knowledge. Particularly, there is a branch of mathematics called statistics. In statistics, what you do? This is what you do. You count and count and count and count and count. That is the statistics, right? So the statistics people will be counting all the time, counting only. They are the Sankhyas, and Kapila was the Sankhya. And he is the father of what is called theory of evolution. And when Darwin came up with his theory of evolution, if you see Darwin's notes, he went to Galapagos Islands and he observed all the animals and measured their beaks, their feathers, this, that. His notes, this thick, it is full of numbers, figures and numbers, numbers and figures. And from all that, only he can understand what he has put. From all that, he came up with the theory of evolution, Dalton's theory of evolution. It was an epoch-making discovery in biology. You must be knowing all that. And the Dalton is the evolutionist. So, till then it is believed that God created everything and dropped from above. He created birds and dropped. He created animals and dropped. He He created men and women and dropped. That is how they believe. But the Darwin said they are not dropped like that. They evolved. Evolution includes time. Time is a very important element in evolution. Like a monkey is there, a four-legged animal. Then gradually it evolves. Some of the monkeys even now, they stand on two legs and they run on two legs also. They have that capacity, while standing on the hind legs, use the front legs as hands. That is the special feature of a monkey. That's why a horse cannot do it, a cow cannot do it, but a monkey can do it. It stands on the hind legs and catch something with the hand, as though they are hands. But then it walks also. In fact, a monkey is not walking on four legs. Monkey is walking on legs and hands, like you and I too can do it like that. That is what a monkey is. Already it is a middle between animal and a man, already. Then the monkey started standing. And now that middle man, some name is there, some technical name. He is like a bending monkey. And then he becomes a straight monkey. And then legs become hands. This is how human being came from monkey over a period. This is Dalton's theory. That is how it is. That's why you can see the intelligence of the human being already present in a small measure in the monkey. And the mischief of the monkey is present in the human being also. You can see the similarity. This is the evolution, the theory of evolution. And Kapila Maharshi of the India, he is the first evolutionist. He was a scientist. And this was recognized not by Indians. Indians don't recognize anything. They are busy with their beliefs and superstitions. So the Indologists of the Europe, they recognized. They said, Kapila is the Dalton of India. Whereas the right way to say is, Dalton is the Kapila of the West. You can say both ways. Nothing wrong in it. What Bodhayana wrote, the Pythagoras, it became Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras is also a great philosopher and mathematician. And there Bodhayana was a religionist and a mathematician. So you can see similarities. Therefore, that's why it is now called Pythagoras-Bodhayana theorem. The right-angled triangle, a square plus b square equal to c square. It's a great discovery in mathematics. And so that is called Pythagoras-Bodhayana theorem. Similarly, this is a theory of evolution. It should be called Kapila-Dalton theory of evolution. It is recognized like that. And he was a great thinker. And his aphorisms are there. Very scientific, even today. Very scientific. And some of his descriptions come very close to the Big Bang theory of cosmology. Very close it comes. And so he is the great thinker. Munihi, thinker. Kapilo Munihi. And what is his glory is Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. There are some people, we don't know where they studied, to which school they attended, but somehow they come out with terrific discoveries. Like Einstein. Einstein attended a primary school and a high school somewhere in Poland or somewhere, in Europe, Eastern Europe, maybe Switzerland somewhere. And then he is a dropout from the school. He failed in mathematics, something like that. He's not a brilliant student in the school. And he dropped out of the school. He wanted a job, so in one patent office, he joined as a clerk. That much he studied. High school, SSLC. In India, you pass SSLC, they will give you a job in the railway station to see accounts and all that. Like that it used to be. Like that Einstein got a job. He did not go to any university, no formal education, and he was sitting and doing his job. In those days, his job is very engaging job. It is 10 hours. He has to write everything and submit notes, this and that. All the accounts are written with hand. And so not even proper pens were there. So what little time is left, he utilized it in learning some mathematics and in getting associated with some physicists, etc. That is how he worked out his theory of relativity. They have special theory, they have general theory like that, and published it. And that became a revolution in physics. Now you tell me, he was given Nobel Prize, not for theory of revolution, for photoelectric effect, he was given a Nobel Prize. And then, so he is a great scientist. In which university he studied? In which college he studied? No university, no college. Still he is a great scientist. Such people are called Siddhas. Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. This Kapila, he did not go to any Gurukulam. He did not have any guru. He is his own guru. He helped himself and became a great scholar. Shankara says here, Dharma Jnana. His knowledge of dharma, ethics and morals was supreme. Without going to any Gurukulam, without studying with any guru, he is a great scholar. Jnana, in the understanding of the world, it's creation and evolution, not creation. They are not creationists. The Dalton, Kapila, they are evolutionists. And so in the theory of evolution, which is Sankhya, Sankhya is evolution, Parinamavadaha. So in that theory, he was a great philosopher. The world recognized him as such. And he wrote a few aphorisms. Most of them are not available now. Only some 10 or 12 are left. The rest disappeared. Written on a palm leaf manuscript, and some goat or something has eaten away some of them, and a few are left. And whatever is left was collected by Swami Vivekananda in his Raja Yoga book. He put them behind. They are there, only that much is available. And he was a great man. And he was living in some forest, living a very Spartan life, like Thoreau in Massachusetts. Very simple life. One single hut he was living, and so he was living a life of vairagya. So three things he excelled in three things: in dharma, jnana, vairagya. And he is a great thinker in his own right. And where from he got all this knowledge, you have to say, he did not attend any school or Gurukulam or anything. It must have come to him from birth, from previous birth it must have come. That is what Shankara says. Janmanaiva. Where Ramana Maharshi studied, in which Vedanta course Ramana Maharshi did, which Vedanta course Nisargadatta Maharaj has attended. They did not attend any formal courses and schools and all that. They have that wisdom in them. By birth itself they have. That is how you have to say. The idea is not that in the cradle they were saying all these things. That is not the idea. So they were not the products of formal education, but they excelled all the scholars of formal education. That is their glory. And such people are called Siddhas. And among Siddhas, Kapila stands out. In him, the vibhuti of God is very shining brilliantly. That is what he says, Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. Let us finish the verse. Ashvathas sarva vrikshanam devarshenancha gandharvanam chitraratha siddhanam kapilo munihi. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you for your attention. Now I will be going back to Bharat and see you again sometime in 2026. Thank you very much.
Pashya